All right.
Hello, Jay. How are you guys going?
Yeah, hi Vitalis. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm also good. So today we'll be focusing on solving generating Fibonacci sequence, but in a different manner, not the usual. Of course, we can use either a for loop, for example, you can
Okay.
use such things, so we can use recursively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so today we'll be solving it differently from all that,
Okay.
in a different manner. So maybe we'll go through the questions and then we'll see how we do it. So
All right.
you have to write a generator function that returns a generator object which uses the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is defined by a relation as you all know, x n minus 1 plus x n minus 2. Then the first few
Mm-hmm.
numbers of the series, of course, these are the first numbers. The first
Mm-hmm.
one, two, three, four, like 7 of them or 8. And then we have now an instance. So you have, for example, the call count, 5, and then we have the output. And then the explanation is that when we call the generator function, which have been told we are creating here,
Mm-hmm.
that is 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 4 times. Then it will give us the 0, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then when you call it 0 times, it will give you nothing. So it's the same. So they have the constraint of their call count to be less than 50 and starting from 0.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we'll be trying to solve today. So of course, I know we are familiar with the normal Fibonacci,
Mm-hmm.
which of course you have to give a number and then you have to start at 2 because the first numbers are 0 and 1. And then maybe you can use recursive, or I've said you can use for. So maybe you can go through the trick question here is understanding which way we are using. We are using
Mm-hmm.
function expression. So we are not using normal function. And the second thing, we are creating a function that will generate uh,
Mm-hmm.
a number. So this
Yeah.
function is work is only to generate. Then once you call, it will put an array with that maybe value. So the first, this pseudo code will be different because there's a different way of doing it. So as usual, you have to first define in any Fibonacci solution, you have to first define the first 2 numbers. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to define first 2 numbers. And then, of course, the next thing you have to generate. That would be recursively or using loops. So you have to generate the numbers. So I think this is a pseudo code for every
Mm-hmm.
Fibonacci. So
Mm-hmm.
the first, now we'll be using a different method. So you see, let the first be, the first one is of course 0, and then the second is of course uh,
One.
1. And then, so now what's different here now, since you're using expressions, we have to like output these numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, we have to yield, not return. So we say yield first, so we return the first one, and then we yield the second, we return the second number. So every time our generator function is called, it yields. So it will
Mm-hmm.
yield, if it is called once, it will yield 0. If it is called
Mm-hmm.
twice, it will yield 0 and 1, and
Yeah.
so and so on. So the next thing now, we have to cover the Fibonacci part, which is right here, which is xn is equals to xn minus 1 and xn minus 2. So for this, we use a loop, which will always run if it's true. And then what we'll do right here is that we'll have to do this, I would say, more of manually and then swap the numbers. because we're using an expression. In normal ways, we could use maybe a recursive, where I would say, like, for example, we call the 5 generator number minus 1 and 5 generator number minus 2, and then we add the 2 and then we return. So here we have to do manually. So we declare another variable. We call it maybe you can call it next value. And then what you see here is that you add the first and the second, which we do right here. This is the functionality here. And then what we'll do now, we will swap them. So remember the first was 0. We want the first now to be the second. Then so that in our next loop, it will not start from 0, to start 1, so that we can generate the next number. And then the second one, the second number, we assign it to a new value which we have created. And then once we do that, we want to return or to yield our next value also. So we do the first, the second, and then once we use this, so this is just all we have to do. And if we run our functionality, of course, yeah, so that's passed. So maybe you can submit and see for the test. Yeah. Okay, so we are good. Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Oh,
thank you for joining for solving.
Yeah. I think it's a new method for me as well. Using this to solve the Fibonacci sequence. I think this is a great way of going about it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.